Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss Macbeth Act 3 Scene 1. And before we go into the detailed explanation, first let's look at the summary of the scene. So Act 3 Scene 1 takes place in the palace in Forest, and in the beginning of the scene we can see Banquo dwelling on the prophecies of the three witches. So he thinks that yes, all the predictions of the witches have come true for Macbeth. So that means if the witches are telling the truth, then my descendants would be the king. And then he says, Shh, I will keep quiet for now. I will not dwell on that now. Then Macbeth invites Banquo to a state dinner tomorrow because he wanted to discuss about various state matter and also about Malcolm and Donalbain because he believes that they will be a threat to his throne. Finally, Malcolm declares that Banquo and his sons are a threat to the crown because even he realizes the prophecy that was given by the witches. Therefore, he hires murderers to kill both Banquo and his sons so that they don't come in between his throne, so that his descendants will be the king and not Banquo's sons. So therefore he hires the murderers, but he asks them to wait for his command. So this is a gist of what happens in this scene. Now let's go into the line by line explanation. So Banquo is saying, "Thou has it now, King Cawdor Glamis all, as the weird women promised." So he's saying, now you have achieved everything. You are the king now, you are the Thane of Cawdor, you are the Thane of Glamis. Everything that the witches they had promised for you, you have received all of that. However, so he says, and I fear thou playest most foully for it. So he's saying, but I fear that you used dishonest means or you used foul play to get it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity. So he's saying, yes, you will be the king, but I also remember that it was said that the throne will not stand in your descendants, so your descendants will not be the king, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. But so what did he say? But that my sons and my grandsons would be kings instead. If there come truth from them, so if what they tell has truth in it, as upon thee, so as they did to you, Macbeth, their speeches shine. So he's saying that if the witches' prophecies, if there is some truth in it, then it is brilliantly true and it is fulfilled. Why? By the verities on thee made good. May they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope. So here Banquo is hoping that the prophecies that were given to him by the witches also come true, and he's saying that his hopes are up. But he says, push no more. So I will be quiet for now. I will not be talking about that. But he says that his hopes are high, that his descendants and his grandsons will also be the kings and get the throne. The senate is sounded. Enter Macbeth as king, Lady Macbeth as queen, Lennox, Ross, lords, ladies, and attendants enter. Then Macbeth looks at Banquo and says, here's our chief guest. Here's our most important guest. Lady Macbeth says, if he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all things unbecoming. So Lady Macbeth is saying, if he was forgotten, then there would be a huge gap or void in our big celebration, or our big celebration would not be complete. And she says all things unbecoming. So it would be altogether inappropriate. Then Macbeth is telling Banquo, tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence. So he says, tonight we're having a ceremonial feast and I'll request your presence. So here Macbeth is being formal to Banquo and formally inviting him. Banquo says, let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie forever knit. So he says, let your highness command me. So your highness, whatever you command me to do, I will always do my duty. And the last two lines are with the most dissoluble tie forever knit. So he's saying that I'm always bound by duty to obey whatever the king commands me to do. Then Macbeth says, ride you this afternoon? Are you going riding this afternoon? Banquo says, ay, my good lord, yes, my good lord. Macbeth says, we should have else desired your good advice. So he's saying we would have liked to have heard your good advice, which still hath been both grave and prosperous. So your advice has always been grave. Grave means very wise and deep, or you can say profound. And prosperous means profitable for us. So your advice would have been both profound and profitable for us in today's council. But we'll take tomorrow. But we will wait for you until tomorrow. Is it far you ride? So are you riding far? Then Banquo says, as far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. So he's saying, yes, I will go far enough that I will be riding from now until dinner time. Go not my horse the better. I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain. So he's saying that unless my horse goes too fast to make it necessary, I shall be back shortly after sunset, which is an hour or two after sunset. Macbeth says, fail not our feast, but make sure that you don't miss our feast. Banquo says, my lord, I will not. Then Macbeth says, we here, our bloody cousins, are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. So he's saying that he hears that the murderous princes are hiding in England and in Ireland, and they're not confessing to the cruel deed that they did. What is the cruel deed? The act of murdering their father. But instead, what are they doing? They're filling strange stories and lies about what has happened to the people who listen to them. But of that tomorrow. But we will discuss that tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have cause of state craving us jointly. So he's saying that we can discuss more about that tomorrow. And we also shall discuss state matters and also other matters that are important to both you and me. Hie you to horse means hurry up to your horse. Adieu means goodbye till you return at night. So goodbye until you return tomorrow. Goes Fleance with you? So is Fleance, your son, also going with you? Banquo says, eh, my good lord, our time does call upon. Means, yes, my good lord, it's time that we leave. Macbeth says, I wish your horses swift and sure of foot. So I wish that your horses are fast and sure-footed, means they don't fall. And so I do commend you to their backs. So I send you to their backs, means backs of the horses. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. So he's saying that Everybody may do as they like until 7 o'clock tonight. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone, while then God be with you. So he's saying that to make the evening all the more enjoyable and to make your company even more enjoyable, I will spend my time alone until supper time. Until then, goodbye or God be with you. Everybody exit except Macbeth and an attendant. So he tells the attendant, Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men, our pleasure. So he's saying, let me have a word with you. Are those people waiting for me? Attendant says, they are, my lord, without the palace gate. So they are waiting for you outside the palace gate. Macbeth says, bring them before us. And the attendant exits. Now comes an important soliloquy by Macbeth. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. He's saying, to be the king is nothing, but if I'm not safe as the king. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. So, to be the king is nothing if I'm not safe as the king. Our fears in Banquo stick deep. So he's saying that I am very afraid of Banquo and I have a deep fear of him and in his royalty of nature. So he's saying that he has a natural royalty or nobility in his nature, reigns that which would be feared. So he has something noble that makes me fear him. It's much he dares. So he's saying that he is a brave person. He's a risk taker. He dares. So here Macbeth is saying the first thing is that he fears the natural nobility or royalty that Banquo has. Second is that he is a risk taker and doesn't fear anything. And to that dauntless temper of his mind. So that means he has an unbreakable courage in his mind. He hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor. So he has wisdom, intelligence that guides his bravery to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear. So he's the only person that I fear, and under him my genius is rebuked. And it's only under him that my genius means his guardian spirit is intimidated. So he's saying that he is intimidated only by Banquo. As it is said, Mark Antony's was by Caesar. So here he's brought in Julius Caesar's story. So he's saying that just like how Mark Antony was supposed to be affected by Octavius Caesar, I am affected by Banquo. Then what is he saying? He chid the sisters. That means he scolded the witches when first they put the name of king upon me. So when they prophesied about me being the king, he scolded them and he asked them about him, isn't it? And bade them speak to him and asked them to speak about him and his future. Then prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. So after that, they gave the prophecy that his descendants would be the kings. Upon my head, they placed a fruitless crown. So they have placed a crown on me, but it is fruitless because my sons will not be kings. And put a barren scepter in my gripe. So scepter is like this ornamental staff that is carried by rulers as a symbol of sovereignty. So here he's saying that they have put an empty scepter in my grip, in my hand. Thence to be wretched with an unlineal hand. So they have given me a crown and they have given me a scepter, but it is fruitless and barren because it will be taken away from me by an outsider. no son of mine succeeding, so my sons will not be my successors. If it be so, if it is true, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. So he's saying that is it for Banquo that I have tortured my conscience and I have murdered King Duncan for his sake? So that is what he's saying. If be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind, for them the gracious Duncan have I murdered. So if I am just doing all these bad deeds, I am feeling guilty. My conscience is affected because I have murdered the king. Is it for them that I have done this? Put rancors in the vessel of my peace only for them. So have I put poison in a wholesome liquid just for them? So in short, he is saying, have I given away my peace of mind just for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man? So here eternal jewel means the soul. And who is the common enemy of man? The devil. So he's saying that I have given my eternal soul to the devil to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. So is have I sacrificed all of this just to make them king? Banquo's sons, the kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list and champion me to the utterance. So he's saying that rather than I letting that happen, I will invite fate to come in the battleground and then fight to death. So here Macbeth is talking about challenging fate. Suddenly he hears someone and he says, who's there? So this soliloquy of Macbeth is very, very important. Please make sure that you go through this. In the next video, I will also be uploading the question and answers of this scene. So please make sure that you solve them, because I'm going to add questions from each line so that you can anticipate all the questions that could appear from this scene. Okay, coming back. Re-enter attendant with two murderers. Now go to the door and stay there till we call. And he tells the attendant and he leaves. Was it not yesterday we spoke together? So they have already had a word. And he's saying, was it yesterday that we spoke? So the first murderer says, it was. So please, your highness. Macbeth says, well then now. Have you considered of my speeches? Have you thought about what I told yesterday? Know that it was he in the times past which held you so under fortune. So now he's talking about Banquo. He's saying that, did you know it was Banquo in the past that made your lives miserable and held it under fortune, which you may thought have been our innocent self. So you must have thought that it was me who made your life miserable, but I have been innocent. So he's saying I am an innocent self, that I made good to you. I have made good to you and I have told you all about it in our last conference, passed in probation with you. He's saying that I showed you all the proof in our last meeting. So here, what is Macbeth trying to do? He's trying to instigate the murderers against Banquo so that they agree to murder him. That is what he's saying. I have been innocent, but it was Banquo in the past that made your life miserable. I have always been innocent. How you were borne in hand, how crossed the instruments who wrought with them, and all things else that might to half a soul and to a notion crazed say, thus did Banquo. So he's saying, I explained to you how you were deceived or how you were tricked, what all documents were used. I showed you how they used it against you, and a lot of other things, like he's saying that I showed proof against everything that was done against you. It is enough to even convince a crazy person to say that Banquo did it. So he's saying that I have shown enough proof for even a half-wit or a crazy person to say that Banquo did it. So indirectly he's telling them, you are convinced, right? Because if not, then they will be considered worse than a half-wit or a crazy person. So the first murderer says, yes, you made it known to us. Yes, you have explained it all. Then Macbeth says, I did so and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. So now I have thought further, and that is why we are meeting again. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? So he's saying, are you patient and forgiving that you are going to let him go just like that? Are you so gospeled? Means, are you so pious? Are you so gospel to pray for this good man and for his issue? So are you so pure and pious that you would go and pray for this man and his children, whose heavy hand had bowed you to the grave and begged yours forever? And beggared yours forever. So it is this man who has pushed you towards an early grave and has put your family in poverty and as beggars. So are you going to forgive this person so easily? The first murderer says, we are men, my liege, means we are men, my lord. So Macbeth says, hey, yes, in the catalogue ye go for men. So you are in the category or in the species of men, as hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, shogs, water rugs, and demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dogs. So he's saying, yes, you are in the category of men or in the species of men, as hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, mutts, shaggy lapdogs, swimming dogs, wolf dogs, they're all crossbreeds of the name dogs. So he's saying all these different categories, they are all considered dogs, and you can distinguish them according to their qualities, like some are swift, means fast, some are slow, some are subtle, some are housekeepers, whereas some are hunters, and every one according to the gift which bounteous nature hath in them closed. So you can distinguish each of them and separate them according to what nature has bestowed upon them, whereby he does receive particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike, and so of men. So these animals are classified based on their natural gifts, and the same is true for men. So men can also be classified just like that. He's saying that now if you stand in the list of men in some position that isn't in the very bottom, say so. Saying, not I, the worst rank of manhood, say it. So here he's saying that if you are talented and you have good qualities, then let me know. I will put that business in your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off. So he's saying that if that is the case, that you stand in the position that isn't in the very bottom, then I will tell you a plan that will get rid of your enemy, grapples you to the heart and love of us. So that will make you closer to me. So I have a secret plan to get rid of your enemy, is what he said. Who were our health but sickly in his life, which in his death were perfect. He's saying that as long as Banquo lives, I am sick in my life, but if he dies, then I will be cured of the sickness. So here he is manipulating the murderers and finally telling them that if you are ready, let me know. I will tell you about the secret plan, because you and I have the same enemy. The second murderer says, I am one, my liege, whom the wild blows and buffets of the world hath so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world. So he's saying that I have been kicked around so much by the world. I'm so irritated and riled up now that I'm careless and I don't care about what actions I do to spite the world. Then the first murderer says, and I another. So I am another person who has gone through the same thing. So weary with disaster. So I am so tired with disasters, tugged with fortune. I am at the mercy of fate, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid of it. So I don't mind taking any bet as long as it would either set my life, means fix my life, or get rid of it once and for all. Then Macbeth says, both of you know Banquo was your enemy. Both murderers says, true, my lord. Then Macbeth says, so is he mine. So he is your enemy and he is also mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. So Macbeth is saying he is my enemy as well. And I hate him to that degree that every minute of his life that he is alive, it threatens my own well-being. And though I could, with bare-faced power, sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. So he's saying that I have so much power. I can simply use my power to get rid of him. But I cannot do that. I can use my raw power. That is what he says, bare-faced power. To sweep him from my sight means to destroy him from my sight. So why is he saying that he will not use his raw power? Let's see. Why? For certain friends that are both his and mine. So we have common friends. And because of that, I might not do so. Whose loves I may not drop. So I do not want to lose those people. We have common friends. But wail his fall, who I must struck down. And thence it is that I to your assistance do make love. So he's saying that I'll have to wail his fall, who I myself have struck down. So I should be able to moan and cry over his death in public, even though I will be the person who killed him. So he's saying that is why I need your help right now. Masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons. So there are many reasons why I should keep this plan a secret, hidden from the public. This is why I should conceal my true intentions. Second murderer says, we shall, my lord, perform what you command us to do. The first murderer says, through our lives. And as he's about to speak, Macbeth cuts him because now he's sure that they are convinced and they are about to do, ready to do the deed. Macbeth says, your spirits shine through you, means your intentions are apparent through you. Within this hour at most, so within the next hour, I will advise you where to plant yourself, where you will have to go. Acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, the moment on it. For must be done tonight, and something from the palace. So he's saying that I can see your determination through your eyes, and within this hour I will tell you where you will have to hide, and at what time, the perfect time that you must strike, and it must be done tonight, but away from the palace. Always thought means always remember. So he says, always remember what? That I require a clearness, means I should be away from any suspicion. And with him to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. So he's saying that to leave no roughness or to leave no imperfections in the work. Fleance, his son that keeps him company. So his son Fleance, who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me. So it is important for me to get rid of Fleance also. It is as important as killing Banquo. It is as important to kill Fleance as well. Must embrace the fate of that dark hour means you are supposed to kill his son as well. Resolve yourselves apart means each of you decide separately and make up your mind. I'll come to you anon means I will come to you soon. So Macbeth wants to get rid of Cleance also, and his death is also very important to him because he has been prophesied to be the future king. So that is why he wants to get rid of both Banquo as well as Fleance. Both murderer says, we are resolved, my lord. We have already made up our mind. We don't have to go our separate ways and think about it separately. Macbeth says, I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. So I will call you immediately. Don't go outside. Stay within the palace. So Macbeth is saying, it is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight. If it find heaven, must find it out tonight. He's saying that the deal has been closed. The night is here for you, Banquo. If you want to make your soul go to heaven, it is tonight. And he exits. And that's the end of this scene. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. And also please make sure that you watch these videos in English because you're going to write the exam in English. Otherwise, if you keep thinking in Hindi, it would be very difficult for you to convert it in English and then write. And also, if you aren't a subscriber, please subscribe right now and also share this video among your friends. Thank you. God bless, and I'm praying for you.